Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we are talking about content and copywriting and how to make a successful, fulfilling, profitable business in that world. My name is Jessica Johnson. I run a content marketing agency called Buzzworthy Content, and I mentor writers in how to build their own businesses and learn how to write and learn content strategy so they can either go and get their own clients as their own boss, or they can come work under my agency if they want to get clients that way and be able to work from anywhere on their own schedule as their own boss. So for me, it's a fun world to be a part of, and I am excited to share things that I've learned mentoring my writers and also having been on the inside of corporate America, leading content teams, hiring writers, and then pitching and actually being someone that gets hired by those brands as well. So here's all the inner workings I'm here to share with you. And today's kind of a fun topic. It's how to get to six figures faster. So you can absolutely make six figures as a copywriter, as your own boss. But there are some things that I've learned in terms of what helps get there faster and what kinds of clients are the best to work with and support that the most versus doing it the longer, maybe harder way. And so I'm here to share kind of what I've learned in that regard with you. All right. So the first thing that I would say is to almost look for more established companies. So it can be a lot of fun to help people who are just starting their businesses and to help them get their websites up and get their content marketing strategy in place. And if that is your specialty, like, bless you, because that is such a special time in a business. And if someone is willing to pay for that kind of support, it can be a really fulfilling line of work, right? Like, it's fun. That stage is so exciting and there's so many unknowns, and it's fun to be part of that process. However, what I found, at least for me personally, is there's something to be said for working with a little bit more established companies as a copywriter. So, in my experience, the more established a company was, if it's a coach, maybe they're at that six figure point or multiple six figures. If it's a corporation, right, they obviously have bigger budgets they're working with. That can be just a much more supported way to work with a brand as a copywriter, because all of a sudden you're working with a company that has their strategy a little bit more defined. Maybe they know they need help with copywriting and content marketing, but they know they have the budgets for it. They're not in that scarcity mindset that we all can get into when we're starting a business and money's so tight and we're doing so much ourselves, like, as we should be, right? Like, we're just starting out, we don't have money coming in yet. And so for me, I feel like my income really accelerated when I was able to pivot to a little bit more established companies, whether it was coaches who'd been in the business for a while and were making good money, whether it was actual corporations and big, big brands. That really helped me to just feel like I was working with people who were happy to offload as much work as possible and to pay really substantial rates and to give me the wiggle room to really do my thing and to trust that I was doing the best that I could, versus feeling like that constriction around every single penny is like, just there's so much nervousness around there because it's a brand new business and they don't really know necessarily like what they should be spending money on, or what's going to help move the needle the most for them. So that was one thing that kind of shifted and really helped me. I would say another one that made a big difference for me was focusing on larger projects versus piecemeal work. So larger projects would be things like websites, right? Like, a lot of pages, a lot of stuff to be done with websites. Maybe there's ebooks. Maybe they know they have 4 blog posts a month, or 10 blog posts a month, or 20 social media posts, whatever it may be. But that was a big thing that made a difference as well, because it's so hard to hit six figures if you're just writing a social media post here and a social media post there, or you're chunking together one blog post with this client and one website over here, one case study. Not only does it just cause so much switching energy in your brain to jump from one activity to another, but it's not as clean and streamlined, right? Like, I don't know about you, but for me, I love to just get in the zone and be like, maybe this is a bigger project, but I can just work on one thing all morning or all day feels so much better than having like 20 things and then 20 emails to send and 20 things to edit. So for me, just working on those bigger projects that required 20 hours or 40 hours or 100 hours, all of a sudden it was just working with less clients, but being able to work more deeply with them. I think that also does a lot for their relationship because you get to know a client so well. And so all of a sudden, you aren't relearning every time. You're not spending a ton of time on research because you get to know their audience, their keywords, the things they're talking about, the nuances they use, their style guides, like how much background information they give. So I think that can really just help be the difference of working with a few clients much more deeply versus a lot of clients and a lot of little projects that don't add up to a lot, right? So much better to do 20 hours, 40 hours with one or two clients and just need a few clients to run your entire business versus needing like 40 clients to make ends meet and have all the research and just switching costs associated with that. So that was a big thing. I think another thing that can be really great, kind of a similar thread, but a little bit more nuanced, is to get recurring work. So, what I found, one of the things that really helped me build my business to six figures is to work with clients who had a certain amount of content they needed every single month. For example, if they needed 4 blog posts or 10 blog posts a month or a quarter, whatever it may be, then I knew every single month or quarter, I was going to already have that amount of work. Like that was a foundation. So if I got another client like that, that was another like level of foundation. And all of a sudden it added up to a completely full workload that let me then go and get team members to help. And I could keep scaling my clients. But I had like the work already filled in, right? Like 20 hours, 40 hours, whatever it would be, versus having to go and find new projects and spend so much time doing marketing and client acquisition. So if you can do that, if you can find a way to get clients who have recurring work versus just one-off projects, that's a great way to always have your minimum set every single month. And then it's a matter of just getting 3 or 4 more clients like that, being completely full, going and hiring a team, which is where you can really scale, versus having to every single month at the outset be like, where am I going to get my new clients this month? How am I going to possibly like make ends meet? You're like, okay, I've had these clients forever. And that's another like reason to really build those long-term relationships where you do amazing work with a client and you're asking for more work too. So you're continually saying, hey, like I've loved working with you. Is there anything else I can take off your plate? And they might not readily think about it, or there might be so much going on in a day that they're not like top of mind, like, oh, I should give, this content writer more work. But if you're suggesting it, they're probably like, yeah, absolutely. I have a ton more stuff I can give you. So I think that's a really good strategy too, is make yourself a reminder at the start of every month and just be like, check in with clients and see if there's anything else I can offload for them or help them with. Okay, so that's a big one. And then the last thing that I would say can really help is almost building packages in that way. So, for example, maybe a client knows at the outset that they have 5 blog posts per month that they need help with. Once you get in that cadence, doing good work for them, see if you can round out their entire content picture. So maybe they have those 5 blog posts and they're really happy with them, but do they want 5 or 10 social media posts to promote each blog post? That's another service, another set of hours that you can provide every single month for every blog post. Maybe once they get their 5 blog posts, do they want them turned into an ebook that they can use to get more leads and people downloading their ebook in exchange for contact information that they can pass to the sales team, right? And nurture. So that can be another add-on that every single month, 5 blog posts, 5 social media posts, ebook. Can you see how it can really start to build in a very clean and strategic way where you're giving the brand stuff that helps them advance their business and they're giving you hours that they're very happy to give you because no one else is able to do the social media post or the ebook. Like they need someone anyway to do it. So there's a million kind of options that you can go with that. You can make a webinar out of it. You can offer to help them post on their WordPress or publishing site. You can offer to pair images with things. So it's really just a matter of you looking for ways to just complete the whole like content picture, and to that is continues to give you more and more work every single month again. So all of these are like kind of different sides of a similar coin, but they're so important for getting to that six-figure mark faster and more strategically versus always being starting over, like building the same business because you need new clients at the start of every month. So again, those are a lot of ideas, but if I could summarize them as like the main points, I would say look for established companies. We love beginners. I've been a beginner myself, but I did not have the budget when I was a beginner to invest in copywriting and content teams. And so sometimes if that's your heart, go and serve those people, right? But if you're like, no, not necessarily, I'm just looking for what's going to help me build a profitable business here, maybe check out those more established companies, but they're at the stage then where they have the funds, they're relaxed about investing in copywriting talent, they see the value of it, and they're not still figuring out their voice and their brand and what a copywriter can even be used for. They're much clearer on that, so you can come in and do your job just much more effectively and smoothly. So that's kind of one thing to look at, right? Whatever works for you, take it, leave the rest. Um, Definitely look at larger projects versus the little piecemeal social post here, social post there. Um, Focus on recurring work, long-term relationships with clients you get to know really well and really get to embed yourself into. And then lastly, see how you can help round out their entire content picture. So look at where the gaps are. If you've been doing 5 blog posts a month, see if they need the social media, see if they need an ebook, see if they need a webinar, and how you can really fill in every piece and take it off their plate, right? And move it onto yours where you can use it to build out your hours and your own successful six-figure copywriting business as well. So those are some of the things that have worked for me. I hope that they serve you. Again, take the ones that work and leave the rest. Part of it is experimenting and finding out what works for you and your industry and your passions. But those are things to play with, and I hope that they help you build the business of your dream as efficiently and just as much fun as you can have as possible along the way. Okay, talk soon.